So let's talk about The Life of Chuck, which is the latest film directed by Mike Flanagan, which is based on a Stephen King novella. So this is very left field from Mike Flanagan, who does a ton of horror, but he does have that human approach, which this film does, but it's still much at home with Flanagan and with the Stephen King adaptation. So I saw this a whole year ago back at Toronto International Film Festival, and I've been meaning to talk about it, and the film is releasing this week, and I thought, what a better time to make a review for such a heartwarming film. This is chicken noodle soup for the soul if they made it into a film, honestly. So the film stars Tom Hiddleston. You also have Jacob Tremblay. You have Chiwetel Ejiofor, Karen Gillan, Mark Hamill. You have Matthew Lillard, Javier Gillan, Kate Siegel, Nick Offerman's in this, David Dastmalchian. You have a ton of characters in this film that are so amazing. Like, it's a long list of actors in this one, a ton of Mike Flanagan contributors, and a ton of familiar faces as well. So very like jam-packed. That's the first thing I'll say about this film. You're gonna be like, oh, that's, throughout the whole film, which is great. And the film revolves around the life of Chuck, which is that 39 years Chuck is retiring. So it's all over and everybody's wondering, why is Chuck so important? Which the film does address, and I'll talk more about that in the spoiler review. I'm not going to get into spoilers for the film if you haven't seen it, or if you haven't read the novella. I would encourage you to see the film and then read the novella, or vice versa. I do need to read the novella though. So this film is a movie that stars Tom Hiddleston front and center as Charles Krantz, otherwise known as Chuck. And this is a movie that revolves around his life. And this is a movie that will reaffirm that things in our life, that people in our life, that people we see here and there and maybe don't see ever again, are so crucial to who we really are. In the trailer, I believe there is a moment when Kate Siegel is talking about the multitudes that live inside of you. And honestly, when I watched this film, it was something that I've never thought about before. And when I started to really sit with this film after the ending, I was just there sitting in silence thinking, wow, we're all like, I don't know, I can't even explain to you without getting into spoilers with the film, but I think that the film is beautifully written. I think the story that it's based on is so incredible as well from Stephen King. I haven't read the novella, but I think Mike Flanagan did an amazing job with this screenplay. I think Mike Flanagan always has a way with words. You always go to Mike Flanagan movies for the monologues, and I think he writes such beautiful monologues throughout that it truly just really hits you. I think one of my favorite monologues of all time definitely has to be from his series Midnight Mass with Kate Siegel, one of the most like heartbreaking and touching monologues I've ever heard. And you do have a lot of those here in The Life of Chuck. Really incredible work here. Tom Hiddleston is as bright as you've ever seen him. He is snappy, he's on his toes, he's dancing. It is such an electrifying and really beautiful performance that he gives here. You also see Chuck throughout the years, and Jacob Tremblay plays the teenage Chuck, which I think was one of Jacob's best performances, honestly. But Benjamin Pajak here, who plays a younger Chuck, wow, honestly blew me away. Such an amazing talent. Very excited to see what this kid does in the future. Everybody else involved here, Mark Hamill plays Albie Krantz, who is the grandfather to Chuck, and this is Mark Hamill, unlike I think you've seen him before, a very intense, very different like approach to a character that I've seen Mark Hamill take in a long time. It is such a dominant force that this grandfather has that can be seen as maybe overbearing, kind of scary at times. And I think that is how you see a lot of people in your life, right? That are this, especially when you're young and growing up, you're kind of scared of them. You love them. You feel that they'll protect you, but at the same time, it feels very much so like you don't want to make them mad, which I think is a great way, the way that Mike Flanagan approaches these characters, because you see them as the character sees them at the time. And I think this movie is wonderful. It has so many great musical moments in it as well. Although the movie in itself is not a musical, I think the music really brings these scenes to life in a way that makes them almost transcend. And I really love that aspect of it. I think Mike Flanagan is approaching this in the best way possible. Just from reading what the novella was, I thought that this would be a movie that would seem almost impossible to make, but I think the way that he structured it and the way he presents it to you, it just works so well. There is a bit of a supernatural element throughout, and I think that it is interesting, but I love that it's not overtaking what the film really is, and it's a film about sort of life and the joy that it brings to everybody around you and the joy you bring to others around you as well. Such a beautiful film, honestly. Like, honestly, that's what I really got to it, is that if you're just looking for a film and you're feeling down, or you're just not knowing where you are in your life and you need a film to reaffirm that you are alive and all, this is probably it. This is going to be one of those films that I think is going to be seen as a classic years to come. And I've seen this pull quote. I don't know who said this pull quote, but they say it's a wonderful life for today. And I truly see that. This is a movie that really just reaffirms what it means to be a human being, and loved it so much, honestly. So overall, I don't really have much gripes with it at all. I think that it's great. I think that it has amazing actors in this throughout. The performances were all great. Honestly, some people in this movie only get 1 or 2 lines, but they truly deliver on these. I really do love Kate Siegel's performance here. I think she has, in my opinion, probably the most prominent part of the film that brings it all together when you're watching it. Listen to that monologue and it sticks to you till the very end. I think she always knocks it out of the park. She just has such a approach to how she delivers, and I really loved it, honestly. And besides that, also Tom Hiddleston is amazing in this, unlike I've ever seen him in anything before. And I don't know, that's just because I've seen him as Loki for the better part or more of a decade, and I just need to see more of Tom Hiddleston in these roles. Give me a Tom Hiddleston rom-com, give me a Tom Hiddleston coming of age type film, because I think he has such a tremendous touch when it comes to that sort of feeling here. But overall, if you want to go see a film that's going to make you feel good at the end of the day and just make you feel like you are human, this is definitely it. The Life of Chuck is that. So Mike Flanagan's film is definitely a different approach, like I said, than what we're used to see him with the horror, but at its core, it's a Mike Flanagan film with the heart. So I would definitely love to see Mike Flanagan go more in this direction. I think he is stronger, in my opinion, when it comes to this. I do love his horror, and I'll be excited for The Exorcist, don't get me wrong, but I do love these more, like, I would say, dramas and like human films here. Not saying that he doesn't have humanity in his horror, which he does. I think he is one of the few writers and directors out there that still are able to give a human touch to the horror film scene. But I do love what he did with The Life of Chuck. So hopefully we might see Mike Flanagan venture more into that direction in the future, but we shall see. Anyways, let me know what you thought about The Life of Chuck, if you enjoyed it or not, if you watched it. And did you read the novella or have you not? Are you planning to now that you've watched the film? Let me know in the comments down below. But truly a wonderful spectacle of a film. Really loved it, honestly, from beginning to end. Cannot recommend it enough. If you're looking for something to watch this weekend, this is it. And as always, that is going to do it for me. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you check out our spoiler talk later this week, and make sure you hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 50,000 subscribers, less than 10,000 to go from that. That's the goal for the summer. Let's reach it before the summer ends, and I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.